Hello, hello! Welcome to Studio Hyperon with your host today, Ale, and today we will be continuing our series on how to become a VTuber. Now, in today's little episode, we will be going over how to install OBS. Not only that, but also manage integrations between Twitch and OBS, and lastly, maybe leave a little test stream to show you guys how it's done. Now, a couple of things to keep in mind, of course. You will want to know how to what your persona is gonna be, who you're gonna be, what you're gonna be called, what you're gonna look like. And if you're having difficulty on deciding, I would heavily recommend you guys go and watch our previous episode made by my dear friend Vicky. You can get some amazing tips there on deciding on your persona. Now, personally, I know I'm gonna call myself Crisp White Wine. It's the fanciest and the crispest white wine, fanciest drink out there. I'm gonna become the crispest, most refreshing wine on the entire internet. So let's go ahead. I got my computer set up right here. Just first, we're gonna be installing OBS. Very simple. Let's go right into Firefox. You don't have to use Firefox, obviously. If it opens up that as type in OBS, open broadcaster software, and you get the download links right here. I will also be putting this in the description down below, so if you guys want to reach there. I will also be putting our previous episodes down there as well. Loads of info. I'm going to be downloading Windows. If you guys are using a different operating system, maybe Mac, maybe Linux, the process is quite similar. But other things might not be. A small little disclaimer there. OBS is heavily has a lot of community support though, so in case you guys need that, whatever. And you guys can also just leave comments in the description. Sorry, comments down below, and we'll try to respond to as many as we can. I did not need to open Firefox there. So it's downloaded. Let's just go in, and we have our installer here. OBS Studio full installer. Just double click. And yes, another thing, I do realize it doesn't have to be this detailed, but you know, we want to be able to help everyone out here, so let's go right on ahead. Install, next. You can change this place, I'm just going to be keeping it as is, and it's installing. I'll be back once it's done. I'm back! As you can see, we have a nice completed setup in screen. What we want to see. Beautiful. So let's just finish and it will launch OBS for us. And we can get right into setting it up. Now, upon booting it up, the first thing we see is an auto config wizard. And you do want to pay attention to these three settings here. It might be of matter to you. Now, of course, our series is mostly on how to become a VTuber for streaming. However, you might also just want to be a YouTuber and just not stream as much. In which case, you might want to choose optimize for recording. What's the difference between streaming and recording? Mostly just data usage, you know? Streaming is, of course, much more dependent on real-time communication using your internet. So it might back off on some quality or similar settings if you're streaming, but if you're just recording, it might let you use more of your more data, more resolution as standard. And virtual camera, that's just if you want to make your teacher think you're listening to the class on Zoom calls. We're going to be streaming today, so yeah. And these. I would honestly suggest that you leave your resolution on 1920 by 1080. If you have a, for example, 4K screen, again, I would suggest you tune it down to 1920 because that's going to be a lot better on your network connection, trust me. And FPS, if your network is a bit shaky, I'd suggest just putting the default to 30, but you can leave it as default. And this is the point where we have to do something else as well. Service Twitch. So, part B. How to set up a Twitch account. I'll be right back. Okay, welcome back once again. Now, I did have to skip through some parts because, you know, personal info. You'll just want to go into Twitch, click on sign up, blah blah blah. Choose a username for yourself, a password, strong one if you will, date of birth, and lastly, an email. Let me just enter this. And done. Sign up. When it does send you a verification code, you just want to go down here, make sure to refresh until you get the email, and boom, we have our code right here. Just copy it over, paste it in, and well, I think we have a Twitch account. Now, this is where it gets exciting. So far, we've made our account, we've installed our OBS, set it up. Now it's gonna want you to do some stuff. You can probably just skip it. Let me show you how to set up OBS. Okay, welcome back. I had a bit of an accident there. As I said, our Twitch account is now complete. We have everything set. Now we will be managing our integration with OBS. Let's just go back here. That did not work. Let's just go back here and connect our account, which is, again, it says recommended here, and I honestly would recommend it too. You can try StreamKey. That is a bit harder to find and honestly a bit risky, I would say. So just connect your account here. It will open up this lovely dialog box. And while this is loading, you might want to open some music and go on a 2-week holiday. Okay, we have our thing right here. Hang on just a second. I have all my information entered out here, so we just log in. And it's going to ask for code again. Copy it. And yeah, authorize. No need to worry about these. Twitch naturally is going to warn us, since, you know, it is a bit of a dangerous thing. Now, you might want to do this. Personally, I'm not going to. I'm just going to skip it. And boom, done. Video bitrate, you might want to increase this. I won't. And it is still... Now, yeah, sorry. Now it's going to be testing out the encoder, which is basically how well your computer can handle making the video smaller, so it gets over to your viewers quicker. And I can just say apply settings, and chat is going to give you this lovely window here, and this is a part of the Twitch integration. It's going to give you a couple windows in case you want to see what your viewers are saying. And we're pretty much done here. We only have a couple more things to do. Now, I am going to be closing these. Actually, I don't know if I can hide them. No, I can't. Okay, I'm going to be closing these for now. Now, there is a couple more things to do in OBS that I'm going to be covering really quickly. Firstly, scenes. Scenes are very useful in that they let you transfer between different environments. For example, let's say I want one of our scenes to be intro. Like I'll show it to you how I set this guide up. For example, intro. I can give myself an image as just a stable thing. Browse. My computer's struggling a bit. I do apologize. I wonder where I put it. Probably in here. Yep, there you go. And I can add another couple of things, for example, display capture, in which I can just add one here. Display capture. You can also choose a window capture if you want to do anything, or OBS itself will detect if you're running a game in the back and automatically zoom into that if you choose game capture. I can just do this and boom, and you can cycle between the two. And you can also add key bindings to this in case you want to be able to switch between the two quickly. That is a bit more advanced, and it's also where things like stream decks come into play. I am intending to make an episode in the future showing you guys how to use your phone to make a stream deck, but for the time being, we can just go into Twitch here, our dashboard, look into our own account. Okay, stream preview, and now we're ready to stream. The second we click start streaming, magic shall take place in the back. I can even go Twitch stats, stream information, whatever. You might want to click do not show again though. And if everything is good, as you can see, we now have our stream ready. Well, isn't that magical? And when you're finished, just stop streaming. Wait for it to shut down, of course. And let's switch back. Lastly, very lastly, I will be showing you a couple settings that you might want to change in case you're going to be doing something different. Let's just go into our settings here. Now, one thing you'll notice with OBS right here are the reason why we chose stream priority as our streaming is because, well, when you're streaming, of course, you're going to have a lot less data throughput. You're going to be sending everything live over the internet. So you want your image to be a bit lower quality depending on how fast your network connection is. But if you're going to be recording into files and such, streaming settings might actually bottleneck you. So if we go into output right here, video. You're going to be seeing this setting called output scaled resolution. And I would show you real quick, but I don't think it's necessary. If you were to just record like this, your video would come out very bad. Trust me, it would come out at this resolution. So, if you want to be in the future, if you're going to be doing anything recordy, just make sure to come here and switch it back to 1920 by 1080. You can also play around with profiles in that regard, but I won't be showing you that today. And that's about it, really. You are now ready to stream. Well, it's been quite a while. You might want to take a break real quick and then continue onwards. As for me, I'll be doing the same. Well, this is where we part ways, but only temporarily. Next week, we will be looking at more tips and tricks on how to improve your streaming game. I've been Ale, and thanks for watching. Ciao.